Welcome back to the Paranormal State, Washington, and UFO UAP. With Makāula Nakae, a lifelong experiencer and ET contactee since 1990. Today's episode, Extraterrestrial Highway. The geopolitical and paranormal vein of America's nuclear age, from Washington's atomic corridors to the extraterrestrial highway. When tracing the cartography of modern ufology, few corridors hold as much concentrated mythos and historical reality as Nevada's State Route 375, officially designated as the Extraterrestrial Highway. As established through the explosive waves of the Pacific Northwest in the summer of 1947, from the waters of Puget Sound to the hypersonic disks over Mount Rainier and the atomic heartbeat of Richland, unidentified aerial phenomena have maintained a persistent, calculated interest in humanity's mastery of the atom. The historical record clearly demonstrates that non-human intelligence was closely tracking the birth of the nuclear age, monitoring the enrichment of uranium, the mass production of plutonium at Hanford, and its secure transportation corridors down to the theoretical design laboratories at Los Alamos. This unbroken operational thread naturally leads to a profound question. If UAPs rigorously track the genesis of atomic material from its production to its detonation, did that surveillance follow the nuclear footprint as it expanded into the Nevada desert? The answer lies directly along State Route 375. Just as Washington State served as the cradle of wartime atomic production, southern Nevada became the proving ground for the chilling culmination of that science. State Route 375 runs directly adjacent to the restricted boundaries of the Nevada test site and the legendary Area 51 Groom Lake. The very installations where the atomic cores refined during the Cold War were detonated in underground and atmospheric tests, and where experimental river-engineered aerospace technology was subsequently developed. Just as uninvited celestial watchers monitored the radioactive VATs of Hanford and the skies over Oak Ridge, they followed the atomic pipeline straight into the high desert expanse of Nevada. The Extraterrestrial Highway is not merely a pop culture tourist attraction. It is the modern geographical continuation of the same planetary surveillance grid that locked onto humanity the moment we unlocked the atom. While pop culture frames the highway as a lonely desert stretch leading to Area 51, its true significance runs far deeper. It represents a physical and energetic arterial vein connecting the darkest secrets of the atomic age, top-secret aerospace development, and a continuous history of intense UFO activity. State Route 375 runs for nearly 98 miles through the high desert of Lincoln County, Nevada, linking the tiny towns of Warm Springs and Crystal Springs. Yet, when viewed on a broader national and historical scale, this highway is merely a segment of a vast interconnected military-industrial grid. The southern terminus of the ET Highway runs directly adjacent to the historic Nevada test site, where hundreds of atmospheric and underground nuclear bombs were detonated, and sits just miles from the perimeter of Area 51, homegrown Groom Lake, the birthplace of high-altitude spy planes like the U-2 and SR-71. During and after the Manhattan Project, the atomic ecosystem relied entirely on secure transport corridors. The plutonium refined at Hanford in Washington State and the designs born at Los Alamos, New Mexico, flowed through a western network of guarded rail lines, secret airfields, and high-security desert highways. The Nevada desert became the primary testing ground for the ultimate destination of that atomic material. The reason the Extraterrestrial Highway earned its name is inseparable from its proximity to America's nuclear testing history. Just as we see in the Pajarito Plateau and the Richland-Hanford corridor, the Nevada desert witnessed an explosion of anomalous aerial phenomena directly mirroring the pace of atomic weapon development. Throughout the 1950s and 1960s, as mushroom clouds rose over the Yucca Flat and Frenchman Flat test areas, civilian motorists on nearby desert roads and military personnel stationed at radar installations reported disc-shaped or triangular craft hovering directly over active nuclear detonations. Ufologists and researchers often point to this corridor as ground zero for the hypothesis that non-human intelligence is acutely monitoring humanity's mastery of fissile energy. The correlation is too stark to ignore. Wherever the atom was split, tested, or weaponized, the skies above filled with silent, uninvited watchers. The Extraterrestrial Highway, acts as a physical manifestation of the exact cultural transition we see in 1947. The airtight secrecy, compartmented security clearances, and closed-loop command structures pioneered at Los Alamos and Hanford were transplanted directly into the Nevada desert during the Cold War to hide experimental aircraft like the stealth fighter and the U-2. Because experimental military aircraft were tested in secret along this corridor, many traditional UFO sightings were genuine black project prototypes, such as experimental saucer-shaped craft tested in the 1950s. However, the sheer volume, erratic flight characteristics, and high strangeness associated with many encounters transcend terrestrial engineering, leaving a permanent, blurred boundary between secret human technology and genuinely anomalous phenomena. The Extraterrestrial Highway is more than a tourist destination for alien enthusiasts. It is the geographic spine of the American atomic and aerospace frontier. From the plutonium reactors of the Pacific Northwest down through the testing grounds of Nevada and the laboratories of New Mexico, this desert highway traces the exact path where humanity stepped across the atomic threshold, and where something else stepped out of the shadows to watch us cross. Chronology of the Extraterrestrial Highway. From atomic fire to the skies of Nevada, the history of Nevada State Route 375, the legendary Extraterrestrial Highway, and its surrounding desert corridor cannot be separated from the atomic age. Across the decades, the timeline of this desolate stretch of road maps directly onto humanity's escalation of nuclear technology and the parallel surge of unexplained aerial phenomena. Phase 1, the Atomic Dawn and the Secret Corridor, 1940s to 1950. 1943 to 1945, the Manhattan Project era. While the physical highway was not yet a designated tourist route, the remote valleys of southern Nevada and Lincoln County served as quiet, wide-open buffer zones for the secret transport untesting networks feeding the Manhattan Project. The infrastructure of national security secrecy was locked into place across the American West. January 1951 establishment of the Nevada Proving Grounds. The Atomic Energy Commission established the Nevada Proving Grounds, later the Nevada Test Site, just southwest of what is now Route 375. This marked the permanent transition of nuclear testing from isolated wartime labs like Los Alamos and the Trinity Site into the interior of the Nevada desert. 1950s, the atomic UFO convergence. As atmospheric nuclear detonations began shaking the desert floor, civilian motorists driving through the region as well as military radar operators tracking the blasts began reporting strange, silent, disc-shaped or glowing objects hovering near the mushroom clouds. The proximity of atomic testing to the highway's future path established the region's reputation as a magnet for high strangeness. Phase 2, the Cold War Black Projects and Early Sightings, 1955 to 1970s. 1955, Groom Lake and the U-2 program. Lockheed engineer Kelly Johnson selected the dry salt lake bed of Groom Lake, situated just south of the Extraterrestrial Highway corridor, as the ideal, hidden testing facility for the top-secret U-2 spy plane. This birthed the facility later known globally as Area 51. Late 1950s to 1960s, the spy plane era versus UFOs. As secret aircraft like the U-2, and later the A-12 Oxcart S, or 71 Blackbird, were tested at extreme altitudes over the Nevada desert. Commercial airline pilots and local drivers frequently reported seeing strange, metallic craft moving at impossible speeds. Many of these sightings were classified Black Project prototypes, but others defied any terrestrial explanation, creating a permanent blur between secret human tech and genuine UAPs. 1960s, underground testing. Following the 1963 Test Ban Treaty, nuclear tests moved underground. Yet, security patrols and base personnel continued to report anomalous aerial incursions over the test ranges, signaling that the watchers remained interested in the nuclear infrastructure. Phase 3, the public emergence and Bob Lazar, 1989. November 1989, the catalyst for Route 375. The quiet isolation of the desert highway shattered globally when physicist Bob Lazar appeared on Las Vegas television station CLAS, claiming he worked on river engineering alien spacecraft at a secret underground facility called S4, located near Papoose Lake south of Groom Lake. The influx of seekers. Laser's claims brought thousands of UFO researchers, journalists, and curious travelers pouring onto the lonely two-lane highway running north of the test site, turning the desert route into a destination for pilgrimage. Phase 4 Official Designation and Modern Ufology, 1996 to present. April 1996 Official Rebranding. Capitalizing on the massive influx of tourists and the cultural phenomenon surrounding the area, and coinciding with the cinematic release of the movie Independence Day, the Nevada Department of Transportation officially designated State Route 375 as the Extraterrestrial Highway. The state erected whimsical green road signs featuring flying saucers along the 98-mile stretch. 2000s to present, the disclosure era. The highway transitioned from a punchline of pop culture kitsch into a serious geopolitical and scientific landmark. With the modern declassification of military UAP reports, the passing of whistleblower legislation, and continued interest in the proximity of secret military installations to nuclear storage and testing sites, the Extraterrestrial Highway remains a living monument to the intersection of human technological hubris and the enduring mystery of the skies. To be continued. Watch and listen. Watch the cinematic video trailer. Listen to the full podcast now. Explore the archive Cosmic Awakening Volume 1, 1991, Peru, Journey into the Unknown. Sacred Valley of the Incas. Volume 2, Ascension 2012, The Golden Alchemy. Part 3, The First Contact and the Paranormal State. Join the journey. New episodes drop periodically. Each chapter delivers a tight, hyper-focused 10 to 30-minute exploration into the evolution of ufology, perfect for your daily plunge into decoding hidden messages from outer space, designed to raise awareness and foster human evolution. Subscribe to support your inner development. Thumbs up to help push our channel through the algorithm. Comment below. Share your thoughts on today's episode.